No sleep tonight, indeed. Who needs sleep? We got a audio input capture? Yeah, we do. Cool, that's working. Awesome. Well, once again, we are below 20,324 subscribers. Well, 3,330 subscribers. Well, welcome. Yeah, we're not going to do the whole countdown thing today. I'm starting to stream extremely late. Apologies for that. We don't have a whole lot of time to stream tonight, unfortunately, but we'll get some encounters in all the same. I spent like probably 20 minutes. Let's see. Basically, from about 11:30 to 12:20, I was debating on if I should stream tonight. I've been getting headaches about 4 hours into my day that extend until about 8 hours into my day, so about a 4-hour long headache every day, like clockwork. Basically, I have sleep deprivation headaches. And today was the first day in 5 days that I didn't have one. So I was debating on not streaming and just going to bed. But then I figured, I could probably sleep in a little bit tomorrow. We'll be fine. So by the time I figured out I was going to stream, then I had to get everything ready, and Streamlabs just wasn't cooperating with me. So originally I would have started at 12:30, but Streamlabs was just like, no, I'm going to take 6 light years to load. So here we are. Welcome to the stream. We're just gonna grind through some Poipole encounters and see where we get. Hopefully a shiny, because while I don't mind going over odds, I feel like I've done my due diligence at this point. Like, I'm a good 1,600 encounters over. I feel like I've earned it at this point. Yeah, it's not being nice. Beat it up. Gonna do something to it anyways. I'm also hopeful for Monday that I find out good news on that assistant manager gig. That would be wonderful to find out. So I do be stressing about that news. You feel like you wanted to ask me something, but you have no clue? If it's about the Maydress, we are getting further away from that goal. It would help if I would like do some giveaways on the channel again. Like, I do know that I am losing a great deal of subscribers because I'm not doing the giveaways as frequently as I would like to. I don't really have an answer for the hang up for why I haven't done any recently, but I mean, I guess I do. It's a baby, but the ability to do videos is lessened these days. I'd rather stream. I'd rather interact directly with everybody. And they aren't the real ones. Yeah. I kind of decided back in June that I was going more for streaming these days. Like, I want to still do them, you know, to maintain, but I'm more thankful for, like, the 200 people that are showing up for the streams. Like, I'm pretty consistently getting 200 views per video. So, that's pretty exciting. I dig that. That's what we're here for. And, yeah, I still want to do the giveaway videos. Like, I'm not dabbing out of those. But eventually they will end, you know? And if that's all I ever did, then the channel would die with them. Let's find out. I didn't pay them money on the 17th. Like, it cost me $22 to retain the spot. So, I don't know if that's still a thing. Let me double check for you. Yeah, it looks like they removed it from their website. It is no longer available. Which I'm fine with it not being there. Like, it would have been a cool option to do, but I don't know. Once I got my email back from them, I wasn't impressed with how they handled things. And I started to think that maybe this brass coin flavor isn't as unique as I would like it to be. Like, now we hope for Rogue, right? Rogue's pretty good. I like Rogue. Yeah, Rogue is another great energy drink company. I've really enjoyed their stuff. Also, welcome, Yaz. I've been doing all right. How about you, Umarli? Been enjoying this expansion pack of NSO. Can't blame you there. You had a 62-hour work week this week. That sucks, Marley. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you raked in the overtime. I had a $20-hour work week. Your check likes it, but your body did not. Yeah, it rarely does, I would imagine. But I will be returning to the regular 40 hours Monday. My parental leave is officially over. Pretty sure your check was almost $2,000. Nice, Sue Marley. Nice. Hey, Stormbow, welcome. Yeah, it really is, Yaz. Unfortunately, my parental leave wasn't paid. I got a week paid. The other 5 weeks I took, I had to save up for. But we made it work. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of why it took so long, is making sure my wife had her 6-week postpartum checkup, all that stuff. So you missed the last stream because you thought I wasn't going to stream. That's okay. I thought I wasn't going to stream last week or last time either, so that makes 2 of us. In other news, I have ran 3 miles for the past 2 days. Oh, completely understandable, Lou Marley. Like, yeah, working 62 hours, no bueno. Like, gotta get the sleep while you can. As my body's like, dude, seriously, go to sleep. Stop slamming the energy drink and just go to sleep. That's gonna be your week as long as they offer it to you. Yeah. Honestly, if I could get overtime, I probably would. When I worked for Walmart, I was real huge on overtime. So, when I was 18, freshly hired to Walmart, you know, we were going through Black Friday, all that. They offered all-you-can-eat overtime to me and my supervisor. They did not anticipate how much we were going to abuse that. The week of Black Friday, I did not go home, like, until they made me. Yeah, I worked at Walmart. I was pulling 18-hour work days because my body could handle it. Like, I had to be off the clock a minimum of 6 hours in between my shifts. And that's what I did. So for that entire week, I slept for 4 hours. I drove home, slept 4 hours, woke up, went back to work. 2 of those nights, I slept in my car to get a little extra sleep. But I was working 4 p.m. to 1. I was... And I was clocking out like... it had to have been close to 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. Because I was on the 4 to 1 shift. Like, I had an absurd amount of overtime. And when came down to it, they decided to, I don't know the proper word, back out. They decided to rescind their offer for all-you-can-eat overtime the following week. So, like, somehow in a pay period, they were trying to make it so, like, oh, yeah, I mean, you don't get to keep the overtime in this pay period. You're not working over 80 hours type stuff. And they said either my boss or myself had to cut the overtime. And I told them there wasn't a chance in hell that I was going to let that go. I was like, you guys, I worked this under the impression that overtime was a thing. I ain't going back on it. I will clock in. I will get paid. If it costs me my job, I will let it. But I will be working the remainder of the week. And my boss ended up taking the week off. So I basically had, on that check, it was over 120 worked hours on that check alone. I had an 80-hour work week at least for the first week and 45 hours on the second week, I feel like. The downside to that overtime story is that anyways, the downside to that overtime story is that I was only making like $9.25 an hour at most. So like on overtime, I was getting $13. This camera today, better. The other guy, me and Wiss watch, currently works there. Oh, gotcha. I don't know why, but like I had an aneurysm, a small one, reading that sentence. It like hurt my brain. It's not a bad place to work. When I quit, I was making pretty decent money, but if I ever went back, it would be as a coach, as an assistant manager at the very least. And you had some stuff come up, so you're trying to recoup some savings. I feel that. I feel the recouping of the savings in order. Luckily, mine was planned for, so we had time to save up for it, but medical bills are a little bit higher than we would like for the time being. Like, we have enough saved that we could pay them off right now if we wanted to, but it would come out of our house savings. So we're kind of like, we reject the hospital's payment plan. As long as we're paying on it, we won't get sent to collections. We will pay what we can each month and get the medical bills paid up to stuff. So like, we saved up a good half of our medical bill costs in a medical bill category, and then we had my time off category, and then we have the house savings, so we had to kind of like 3 different big savings that we were working on. And, you know, we had to cover the time off because we needed to pay bills while I was, you know, home helping with the babe. And my wife wasn't able to get the medical savings all the way up to snuff. So we're just like, well, we'll make payments on what we can and deal with that later. Shark Lord finally made it to bed today. No more sleeping on the floor. You didn't just whip out your mattress and sleep on the mattress on the floor? Ooh. Had to redo your car's head unit, radio plus do buttons to fix buttons on your steering wheel. Eesh. Did you have a mechanic do that, or was that a self project? Given the $1,500, I'd imagine a mechanic had to do it. Paying for labor, because the parts, there's no way the parts could have been that much. Your school leaving time is going to be 10 p.m. Wiss, you're going to be at school till 10 p.m.? Ah, it was self-done. Okay. That is some expensive parts. And there is way more wiring in a car than one would first initially think. Oh, Wes, that sounds terrible. An OEM radio for your car is $800. Dang, Gina. Dang. Marley's out here driving a Bentley. Different lighting? Not so much. Like, maybe a little bit. Different camera, Smoker. I got the Elgato 4K camera, so like it really brings out the yellow of my skin, I guess. These lights definitely aren't helping that much. Like, I could probably lose that. Lose that. And now I look a little bit, you know, normal. But then it kind of, like, to me, makes the camera look a little fuzzier because it's having trouble picking up where my face is at. But, like, I could stream without those ring lights now and, you know, still catch a vibe. Because this camera is just that good. I look normal, but I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark on a lot of things. Being in the dark has its benefits. Your Toyota Camry factory radio is $800. That is insane. You finished your wall? I assume you're talking about Minecraft? I would agree, Smoker, if it was just for the radio itself, but cars be weird and have random buttons, wiring, and other things going through the radio to your battery. And so sometimes if that radio goes out, like, everything else in your car stops working. So, like, I assume that's the reason why. It might have just been a fuse. Fen, Warrior, Umarli, that's the story. Like, that's the essence of, like, being a guy, I think, for me. Didn't need it, but I wanted it. Did I need to put a 4 terabyte hard drive, solid state hard drive, in my motherboard in the M2 slot? No. But it was there, so I did. Did I need to put 32 gigabytes of RAM in my PC? No, but I did, because I could. And I'm going to be putting 32 more in, because can. And because I'm tired of my video rendering maxing out my PC's computing power. I probably won't be putting 32 gigabytes, extra gigabytes of RAM in my PC unit because, like, I'm fixing to, like, save up for an entirely new PC that has a better processor. But I might still put the RAM in there and use this PC as a Minecraft server because it could handle it. Like, I am certain that my PC unit could handle a Minecraft server with 100 people on it. What I'm not certain of is if my internet could handle that. So what we're finding out, Marley, is that the radio worked perfectly fine. It was just the single buttons. So, why were the buttons not replaceable by themselves? That's my question. What was wrong with the buttons themselves? No clue. So theoretically, it's possible that just the buttons could have been replaced, is what we're hearing. I'm sure you ripped your whole dashboard apart to try and figure it out. When I was in high school, you guys may know this already, I worked in a car shop for 3 years. My junior, sophomore, and senior years. Sophomore, junior, and senior years. Worked in a car shop. The worst problems I ever dealt with were electrical. I absolutely hated electrical problems. I'm really good with electrics now because of it, but I hate car electricity. I hate it so much. DC is like the worst electrical experience of my life. Not like you needed it anyways. Weight reduction. Yeah. Marley, did you replace your steering wheel with a Wii Mario Kart steering wheel? Because that's been trending, apparently. Went from a base model radio to the fancy whistles, fancy bells and whistles. Very nice. My wife has that in her Honda Civic. She has a really fancy touchscreen radio, and I just have the basic brick. The fiance told you no? Darn it all. So, fun story. More brass coin lore. While I worked at this car shop, I did some really sketchy things. So, I am like a 16-year-old kid at this time. My boss business is booming. You know, he's getting a lot of business. He had his house, and the shop was like in his yard. Basically, it was an old barn that he had in his yard. It was enough for 2 cars initially, but like the barn was huge, so he only renovated half of it, and he had spots for 2 cars to be on lifts. So he was a 2-car garage, but he was only using half of this barn that he was renovating. Well, while I was working there, he had concrete poured for the other half of the unit. And he was put in 3 more lifts on that other side. Well, to do that, he needed wiring done. So it was framed, it was concreted, but there was no electrical wiring done. Me, a 17-year-old kid, unlicensed electrician, he paid me to go and route wiring for all of it. And when I asked for instructions on how many electrical outlets would you like, the answer was yes. So I routed so much electricity through that thing, so much wiring. Like, there had to have been like 50 outlets that I did. In all, and I hooked them into breakers and installed them in this panel while the shop was active and running. Like, this wasn't an after work experience, powers off. This is a 16-year-old kid actively working on electricity in a shop that is currently running electricity. Smoker, it didn't blow a fuse or trip the breaker because nothing were currently plugged into the outlets, and because I ran enough wires to have 3 outlets. I mean, they were 4 outlets per box. Or, sorry, the boxes were 50. The outlets are double, but the boxes contained 4 individual plugs. So I only put 3 of those on a run of electricity, and that's pretty standard. You bridge 3 electrical outlet boxes together, and you run them back to a breaker box. In a house, you would see bedroom 1 and bedroom 2 on the same breaker, because technically speaking, they shouldn't all be drawing power at the same time. But when you have an office in this like me, I have 1, 2, 3 outlets that I've plugged into. I'm using all 6, and I'm pulling like 300 kilowatt hours a month through those. So probably should be overloading a breaker or close to it by that point. But with this shop, 3 boxes per breaker. They were bigger breakers. They were good. We're fine. But I just ran a lot of runs over the rafters to these individual boxes. I had DVS shoes at the time. Guys, I am not kidding when I say I am pretty sure these DVS shoes saved my life. Because I was putting a screw, like these breaker boxes, screwed into the panel so that they didn't like get jerked out somehow. My screwdriver slipped off that screw and made contact with the positive side of the breaker box. So like, with a screwdriver in my hand, I touched positive running electricity of 110 volts. Like, the most I got out of that was a little tingle in my hand. Like, I thought I had died. But no, just a little tingle in my hand. My shoes were so well insulated because it was like a solid inch of rubber. Only if you're holding them properly and they have the correct handle. There are specific screwdrivers for electricians This was not one. Yeah, it was not a rubber hilted screwdriver. And it wasn't just a tap of the screwdriver. It was drop the screwdriver, oh shit, you know, grabbing it, and yeah, it was bad. Like I wasn't just touching the handle. I was touching the freaking shaft of the screwdriver like an idiot. But I did have some mechanic gloves on, so that helped. And then my shoes, just not being able to ground. I got paid $10 an hour, smoker. I did not get paid good. Not that good. But I was dumb. I was in high school. Like, my dad did study to be an electrician, so like I did have some knowledge going into it of, yeah, don't be an idiot. But yeah, that time the screwdriver did slip, and I made contact. Like, I was trained by my dad to handle electricity to some degree. He's like, hey, here's what you need to watch out for. Here's how you route it. Here's how you wire it. Always make sure it's off, you know? And just don't be an idiot. Oh, yeah, smoker, for sure. Yeah, I got paid under the table, so, like, I'm lucky I got paid at all, but he was a good guy. Yeah, cash is for sure better. And it was a pretty good experience overall. Like, I got to change brakes, change oils, do car inspections, kind of know and learn what to look out for. I have a basic understanding of the functions and parts of a car, so like going to an auto body shop or, you know, a mechanic, I'm not going to get like completely screwed over because I'm like, no, that doesn't jive with what I know about them. For example, like me and my wife were dating, and I almost went down to our local Honda dealership on her behalf because what they did to her pissed me off so bad. So they got her with an $80 tire alignment, and at the time, $80 was a significant chunk of change. Now it's like worthless, I feel like, but no, it still has value. Either way, they got her with a tire alignment, and I asked my wife, we were dating at the time, like, they charged you $80 for a tire alignment? Your car is like 6 months old. What's going on? Like, they should be fixing that for you because that's a vehicle they sold you. Like, that's on them. There's no way your tires could be that much out of alignment that it needed adjusted. And she showed me the paperwork, and it was, I am not joking, guys, it was 0.02% off on the alignment. It was such an insignificant amount of like misalignment, and they like, oh yeah, you need to adjust this, it's out of alignment. We ended up getting her money back because she ended up getting her money back because I said if she didn't go down there and get it reversed, I was going to, because yeah, you're not gonna get screwed over on my watch. Marley says they burned their fingerprints off on a McDonald's grill. Worked at McDonald's on the grill back when I was 19. I was going to school at Idaho State University. I did a little bit of time at that McDonald's. Only 2 weeks, but I did get the grill down pretty good. I was good at it. Found this one job at 15 for a warehouse job, and they paid $20 an hour with free food. Dang! That's pretty good for 15. You got a wheel balance for $15 per wheel, which was a steal there. Yeah. Not bad. your left hand still doesn't really have fingerprints. Umarli, how exactly did your hand come in contact with this grill? And yeah, alignments do cost $80. Like, the price wasn't what was outrageous. It was the level of misalignment that they sold my wife for. Like, if you're under a 5% misalignment, that's not even nothing to worry about. 10% it needs fixed, but 5 to 10 is where you should think about it. Below 5, it's like, it's not even, nothing's gonna notice. The computer doesn't even notice. Like, why are we doing this? Umarli, we want both because they both sound amazing. Oh yeah, yeah. Dealerships will charge you for everything they find, and that is true. And my wife shouldn't have allowed them to do the work, but they also should have honestly and accurately explained the problem and how much it actually affects the vehicle. To be fair though, when we did go to the Honda dealership, we did talk to one of the supervisors, and they were ashamed that their technician, or at least they acted ashamed, that their technician fixed that for my wife and recommended that she deal with it on that level. Because even the supervisor said, yeah, really, until it hits 5%, not that much off. You're not even going to notice it. The one that sounds better. You wasn't paying attention to where you were standing and put your hand behind you onto the grill. Okay. That's the one that sounds better. What you usually do is go to a dealership to get an inspection and get a diagnostic on paper and see what's wrong, and then go to mechanics near you to get the job done cheaper. Okay. Yeah, I know that's a pretty common practice, and a lot of people pay a diagnostic or charge a diagnostic fee these days because of things like that. Like, yeah, we're going to spend all this time fixing the problem. You're going to go on YouTube or go to another mechanic and have it fixed for cheaper. We're aware of that. So, I mean, yeah, if you can get it done cheaper, by all means. I know a lot of places, nowadays, they charge like a diagnostics fee for finding the problem. But if you get the service done there, the diagnostic fee goes into their overall labor and stuff for the cost. Like, it gets reimbursed back to you. But if you just take it and leave at the diagnostic, they don't give it back. Okay, Umarli, for future clarification when telling that story, the truth sounds way better than the other one, because that's funny. But when talking about to a supervisor, the one that sounds better is the one that sounds more responsible. But as far as storytelling goes, the truth is definitely better. Effing around with your friends, spraying each other with sauces, and slipped on some and fell onto the grill. That's funny. I went to the Acura one. It was $200 for a diagnostic. That makes sense. And was that just a flat diagnostic price, or was it just due to the amount of time it took them to find the diagnoses? Because I know some places that has a play in how much they charge. Some places will charge a flat rate. It's like, okay, we're going to charge you this much to find the issue. And other places like, yeah, it took us 3 hours to find the issue. Here's how much you owe us. Flat diagnostic price, okay. Also, how you ended up breaking your hand in the solid metal back door. Beelzebub is glad that people still stream this game. It is a pretty solid game, not gonna lie. Gotta get that shiny Poipole, Beelzebub. You are planning on putting a turbo on the Accord and engine swapping the Civic Si. Ooh, that sounds fun. Well, of course, it's a man's dream. Yeah. So, one of the cooler projects that I got to help work on with this guy that was a complete and total scumbag, he bought 2 Honda CRXs. He had one with an SI engine. He had one with another kind of engine. One was fuel injected, one was carburetor. What he did was this really cool Frankenstein experience where he took the engine block from the SI and he put it in his Honda CRX, and then he took the cylinder head from the carburetor version and put it on his SI, but he changed that cylinder head to accept the fuel injections. Hopefully I'm explaining that right. So basically what he did was turn this SI powerful engine into a more powerful engine, an engine that had a little bit more oomph, because the SI itself was, you know, like a certain liter of engine, and then the non-SI, the carburetor version, was another certain liter of the engine. But because the carburetor one was slightly different, I can't remember whether it made this. It made the compression go higher. That's all I know. I don't know how. I don't know how it works exactly, but like he messed with the volume of the cylinder so that when the gas goes in, it had less space to expand, so it had more power. Because the SI had a flat cylinder cap, whereas, the SI had a domed one, and then the carburetor had a flat one. So he basically made it so that it had less space and just had a little bit more power. It's basically smoker. And it was the coolest thing ever to be a part of that. Beelzebub. Yeah. I've heard it both ways, as Sean Spencer would say. And if you guys get that reference, kudos to you. Have a pineapple. You've done that to an MDX, but instead of changing the block, you did it with a tune, making the car use more fuel to make bigger explosions. Yeah, that's the other way. Either make the car use more fuel or give the car less space to use that fuel in. And both. And hope it doesn't explode. I got screwed on that deal, though. I was helping this guy do the engine block swap. He was supposed to give me the third Honda CRX in exchange. So he had 3 Honda CRXs. But I ended up letting the other one sit on a property for too long, I guess, because it was technically mine, but it didn't have a title and it wasn't left on my property, so I couldn't claim it. The MDX did explode after a couple of years. That's awesome. Blew up cylinder 6. That's legit. I love that. I mean, it sucks that your car engine exploded, but sounds like a fun time. I'm dismayed that nobody commented on my Sean Spencer remarks. I fear that show is a little bit too old. Ooh, just finished watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And you find yourself feeling out, I'm going to say geeking out over how freaking good it was, because it was amazing. Okay, Beelzebub. I do have a question for you, though. Have you watched Full Metal Alchemist proper? So there's Full Metal Alchemist, and then there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Basically the same, but there are events that transpire slightly differently that change the entire meaning and dynamic of the show. And I forget which one was the better one, but I think universally speaking, Brotherhood was better. Yeah. So, because I can't remember, because it's been so long, Brotherhood followed the original story, whereas Full Metal Alchemist became an anime-only story. That makes sense so much, because I do remember the Full Metal Alchemist, one of them didn't quite make sense with where it ended up going, but they're both still really good. And that would make sense because when the anime was being made, the source material wouldn't have been finished yet. Smoker, since you're familiar with it as well, what was the bad guy in Brotherhood, and how did that turn out? Like, I think they both end up in World War II era Germany at the end, but I do remember the difference between the two is who the bad guy is and why they are considered the bad guy. Yeah, the main guys are the homunculi. It's a difference in how the father is presented. So, the father is Ed's father. There was one was the clone and one was just not a clone of him. One, he was straight up evil. The other, not so much. I'm going to have to rewatch both of them. They were both good, but one of them just ended really weird. Hohenheim is Ed's father. Father is the villain. Okay. And I think in Brotherhood it makes that distinction, whereas in Full Metal Alchemist it doesn't. Yeah, like, Ed goes fully against the law of exchange there, I think. Because isn't, like, the entire premise of that show, like, there is the law of equivalent exchange, but Ed goes out of his way to overrule that, and as a result, like, don't they end up in post World War II Germany? Like, what's behind the door of truth? Smoker, I do think that is kind of answered in the end, just albeit vaguely. I can't remember whether it's Brotherhood or Full Metal Alchemist, but if I remember correctly, they go beyond the door of truth, and, like, it's a flip side of our world. So, like, on one side of the door is our science and, you know, the atom bombs getting dropped on, you know, Nagasaki and Germany and all that. Like, they end up in World War II era Germany with blimps and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember which one it's in, but they end up there because, like, that's where Al's body went. Like, he didn't, in one of them, he doesn't pull Al's body back. They end up on the other side. It's most likely the original. Okay, yeah, that would make more sense of why it's freaking random. Stream derailed. We're all in. Yeah, I pulled out of community. we're gonna learn today. Maybe I can find one that actually goes over the plot differences. Oh, what? Colonel Mustang? Fire character. Pun intended. Okay, the role and origin of homunculi in FMA versus FMAB. The homunculi serve as the primary antagonist in both anime, although their creators and even identities shift from series to series. Each homunculus is named for a 7 deadly sin. Great anime, by the way. Netflix original, if I'm not mistaken, but great anime. Oh, yeah. Wrath is Führer Bradley, while Pride is his son. However, in the original anime, Bradley is Pride. In FMA, Wrath is failed transmutation of Ed, and Al's mentor is Zumi. Okay, yeah, that checks out. While Greed is created by Zumi's mentor. Dante and Father both have ties to Hohenheim. Dante is a former immortal lover of Ed and Al's father. Father is tied with his origin as an alchemist and immortal. And while Father creates the homunculi, Dante simply stumbles upon them. Yeah, I need to go back and look at that. So much. Brotherhood faithfully adapts the manga's ending, tying up every plot point and character in beautiful fashion. It feels organic, weaving in all previously introduced elements. The events of the film send Ed into an alternate dimension. Oh, wait, what? The original, however, ends with its movie, Conqueror of Shambhala, which is bizarre to say the least. The events of the film send Ed into an alternate dimension where he tries to survive in what is essentially Germany. Sought and chased by an alternate universe doppelgangers. The ending seems many of the characters scattered across dimension. Greed takes on a new transformation. But Brotherhood has the happy ending. That's the one we're looking for. Tag me in, coach. Whis is about to hibernate. Bet. I should probably do that too at some juncture tonight, but this is not the time. Oh, y'all, Tuesday when the YouTube money comes in, I am going to order the patches. I don't know if you guys saw it in Discord, but I finally got the text on my patch fixed. I actually ended up doing it myself. I feel like I did it to the standard that I require the brass coin patch to be done with. And I will be going to my local embroidery shop and seeing if they can get it created for me. If they can't, I'll be doing it online. But I know there's going to be some changes that will have to be done to the patch in order to make it doable. Some places will only do 4 colors, other places will do more, but it's my patch design is a little bit too detailed for them, I think, so I'm going to have to simplify it. That may result in the shirt being one color, so on and so forth, but I'm excited at least to say that I will be Tuesday going to the embroidery shop and getting the patch done. And if I have time, I will be getting some plastic 3D printed coins with a brass coin sticker on it at the very least, so it'll look like a coin, and that's going to be like the introduction into the brass coins. I would really love to get like an actual brass coin made. I think if I send my 3D printable file to the right people, I can get a graphite mold made with it. Since I'm not printing, I'm taken away from. But we'll have to see on that one. Really, if I want to smelt some brass coins, I need to have a graphite mold to dump it into, and that'll be something of a fun project that I want to look forward to as well. Yeah. Just as a joke, I think I talked about on Discord that I might do a shiny version of it with the shiny charm on it, just for fun. It really depends. I think when I do the patches, I have to commit to buying 100 patches for the design that they do. I don't know if they will elect to do a few of them with that shiny charm on it, or if I'll have to order 100 of those as well. So if I have to order 100 of those, I probably won't do it, because then it'll be a 50-50 chance on shiny, and I don't think that's as fun. But I might. Who knows? We'll see. And I'll have to get a good price point on the patch themselves. But I know for sure it's at least going to be $5. Like, that's a bare minimum for $5. But it may be in the ballpark of 10. I just have to see what they're going to charge me to get the patches ordered before I can do an official price point on them. But it's going to be in between $5 and $10. You can always talk beauty. So, we did just have a rather long discussion about Full Metal Alchemist. That brings up to me Evangelion Neogenesis, which is another great anime. If anybody has seen Evangelion Neogenesis versus the movies that they just put out, what the heck? The anime, the original anime, was phenomenal. Really mess with your brain. The movies, kind of garbage. Like, they looked pretty, but not. Don't talk about the remakes. Yeah. But the story is not the same. They changed so much. Like, I remember watching Neogenesis, and like, it's an anime you need to watch twice to fully understand and be like, oh wow, that's what they mean. That's what this is doing. And the way they did the remake of the movies, my wife kept asking questions while we were watching them, and like, I thought I knew the answers, but I don't know anymore. Like, stop asking me these questions. I cannot answer this for you. Yeah, it's like, what the heck did I miss? Something big. And Umarli, you have a great night. Thank you so much for popping in, chatting it up with us. Thanks for the good luck. You have some great sleep. And we'll see you next time we stream. Yeah, like the first part of movie 1 really starts out normally, and then it just takes a left turn and keeps on going. Like, I remember Shinji, Rei, and Asuka having like a lot of sexual tension going on that is explored in the anime. A lot of it focused more on Shinji's development and growth, and like every single one of these test pilots had something mentally wrong with them. I don't know a better way to say that, but like they had issues, and it was how the colonel abused those issues to bring about his plot. And like the ultimate end goal kind of ended up being the same, but it was accomplished differently. Like, I remember in the anime, the dad's main goal was to have Shinji become this enlightened spiritual individual that could either make the decision to maintain individuality or bring the human consciousness to one big blob, essentially. Whereas the movies kind of present him as the dad could do it, Shinji could do it. They just needed to awaken these angels, and whoever controlled this angel at the time of awakening would essentially become a god and could rewrite the world in their image, type of a situation. But yeah, definitely not remakes. They are, completely different in my opinion. I agree with that. Alternate universes, and like in one of them, I think it mentions he goes into an alternate universe, and like the end of movie 3 with the ship and the thing, like whatever happened when he had his awakening, it like sent him into an alternate universe. Good night, Shark Lord. Get that Pokemon sleep in. When next stream? Monday night, Wiss. Monday night is the next official stream. Tomorrow I may get a nap time stream in. We don't know. It could happen. But Monday night officially. And unfortunately the streams are probably going to return to a Monday night, Saturday night occurrence due to me going back to work full time. Not sure what the schedule's going to hold. If there's days where I get to work from home, the night before that will be a stream because I can handle the sleep loss while working from home, as well as I just don't have to wake up as early is the thing there. Like, it's not that, oh, I'm working from home, I don't have to be functioning, like I can be dead tired and still do my job. No, it's I don't have to drive to work, so I can literally wake up, roll out of bed, and do my job. So I have an extra hour so I can stay up a little bit later. Like, I can sacrifice an hour of sleep and then use the drive time to make a stream happen that I save, so but when I go to work, like, I have to like be presentable, I have to wake up, I have to shower, I have to drive down there. It takes an hour for me to get up, get ready, and get to work. Whereas if I work from home, 5 minutes. Wake up, roll out of bed, sign on to the computer, we're good to go. What is the thing that really limits the growth of the channel? I think it's my inconsistency. I think that's the biggest thing. Inconsistency with streaming. Streaming at late hours instead of in the morning. So inconsistency with how often I stream, how long I stream, and when I stream. And not streaming at the ideal times, and not being able to get my videos out on a set schedule. Those are the biggest things that are impacting the channel, because my content is consistent in nature, just not timing. And YouTube wants timing. So if I can ever get to a point where I'm putting out a video on like every Tuesday and Thursday or something like that, we'll be in good shape. And realistically, I am still working on some projects to go in the background that are going to help with that. Like right now, I am trying to make a file for every Pokemon from every game. Realistically, I should start streaming Tuesday mornings and Sunday mornings. From 9 to 5 would be great. But a big hindrance to that is me and my wife do not have days off in common. Like, I could have done it a little bit easier while we had time off. And I did for a large majority of the time, but as I work towards a assistant manager role, if I get it, like that's going to allow my wife to spend less time at work because I'll be making more, which means that she has more time off so that I can stream a little bit more, potentially. Remember the time you told some months ago about how the stream looked? Yeah, I do remember. It was probably closer to 6 weeks ago, but I mean, we were definitely still shiny hunting Poipole, that's for sure. At least I'm pretty sure. Forget all of that. Evidently, it looks fine. I think here before too long, like once we get all the 3DS hunting done, I will return to full length, like full width screens for streams. So like I will be returning to normal streaming. Just with the 3DS and only having one screen, it just makes a lot of sense to view it this way. Like it makes the screen the same size as you would see it on a 3DS anyways. But when I return to hunting on the Switch and things like that, I can hunt 4 Switches at the same time, so I can record all 4 of those screens, and that's what I'll do. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Are we also missing some activities with viewers? You mean like doing online battling or... One thing that I would do with viewers is the Dynamax Adventure. Like I have done in the past, Dynamax Adventuring with viewers. I haven't seen Mimikyu fan in a long time. Hopefully they're doing all right. Mimikyu fan and Mr. King used to pop into quite a few streams, but I haven't seen Mimikyu in a long time. Hey, Starkiller, welcome. Sometimes you find them on other streams. Well, that's good. Don't know why they haven't popped in here in a while, but... I may have gotten boring. I don't know. I would understand if I did. Probably because of the inconsistent schedule. Very likely. For the most part, I have gotten Tuesdays and Sundays down, or sorry, Saturdays and Monday night streams down to pretty consistently at midnight at the very least. But I do stream at random times. I would like it to be starting at 10 and going to 2 a.m. so I have 4-hour streams. Those ones seem to do better. Oh, also, I don't know how many of you guys are still here, but how good was the DAs with viewers? I feel like I was having like 15 to 20 people watching back when I was doing that. But that was a while ago, but I went really hard into Jirachi and Manaphy, so I wasn't doing those as often. If you guys are also in my Discord, I have a discussion channel going on, collecting ideas, thoughts, and opinions of Pokemon generation improvement, like quality of life improvements and quality of life reductions from each generation. So I will be wanting to do a video going over quality of life improvements that are awesome through the series, and a video on times that Game Freak took away quality of life. Like running shoes. Running shoes will always be like my top one. Like, right off the bat, my top 3 quality of life improvements are running shoes, receiving experience points for catching Pokemon in battle, and the ability to access your boxes anywhere in the world. Pokemon interaction in the Let's Go games. Ironically enough, that was in Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, like back on the Game Boy. That was a thing in the fourth ever Pokemon game. First generation. And then it removed, came back, removed, came back. Kind of underrated. I thought about doing a YouTube poll for it, and I probably will still do that. It just didn't happen. The music also had some really good improvement, no doubt. Back even further? You don't much like the music of SCVI? I can't say that I really ever honed in on it that much. Oh, mini games were atrocious on Scarlet and Violet. Ghastly Anarchy, we are so back. Hello, Ghastly. Welcome. Is there a battle tower or something like that on Scarlet? Closest thing to that would be the Blueberry Academy, I think. And the ability to go back through and participate in school tournaments. That's it. Oh yeah, it dropped all the balls, almost. So many balls, they can make a full game from them. Absolutely. All right. I'm starting to get that yucky, sleepy feeling of nodding off and kind of getting nauseated from nodding off. I don't know if you guys ever felt that. So I'm going to do one more round of encounters after this one and call it a night. So that one was not shiny. We will have one more and we will call it a stream. I was just feeling that nod off feeling that it's just like, I'm going to be sick if I don't go to sleep. Can't believe in SV they didn't have Tapu Koko in them because it would fit with the beach area. Yeah, really, it kind of would. Alright. No shiny for today's stream, but we did get a good number of encounters done. We are easily up to 52 hours now on the stream clock. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, we're at 53. Yeah, 52. Hours. Hey, Sumi Tsunami, welcome. Unfortunately, we are signing off the stream for the night. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for popping in, hanging out, and chatting. as we grind through some more shiny encounters. Well, non-shiny encounters. Looking for the shiny. We'll catch you all the next time we stream. Again, that will be for sure Monday night. We're going to plan for 10 p.m. Monday night. And after that, before that, we might stream Sunday afternoon. We'll see. But next official stream, Monday, hopefully 10 p.m. We'll see you guys then.